Today is a beautiful day because I have an extremely beautiful big news to share together with you. And then we speak, of course, about the words of Francois Modesto, because on Tuttosport they go with Kolo Muani and the Scudetto. Juventus is all in for it. Are these the real words of the new technical director of Juve? Yes or no? We'll speak about that, and then of course a point about the Mercato, because we know Mercato is open, Mercato is totally crazy, even if it looks really slow. A lot of things are happening behind the scenes. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Listen to my big announcement, listen to the big news, because I'm extremely thrilled. And after that, if you appreciate the news, if you want to support me, of course, I'm expecting a lot of maximum of likes. And then, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that we can make that community bigger and bigger and bigger, because we don't want any English-speaking Juventino to miss this season on Juve. So the big news that I'm extremely happy to share with you is that I will continue again for one more season again, and then let's see for the future, my partnership with Juventus Football Club again. I'm extremely happy. You know that I started winning a contest in February 2021, where I became the host of Twitch for Juve, that I did a few seasons with some watch along, with some players interview, where last year I was involved a bit more into real life events, where I hosted a few of these meetings with legends like Torricelli, but also a fantastic, beautiful Juventus official fan club day 2025 in Sardinia. And then the peak of my career as a content creator was being there at the FIFA Club World Cup in North America, meeting a lot of Juventini in the different Juventus villages. So for 25-26, I will have the opportunity to continue these kinds of events, moderating them, hosting them there in real life. I cannot spoil too much of what is happening, but it will be beautiful, and it will already start this weekend in Dortmund. So Juventini of Dortmund, people that will be there, we maybe will have the chance to meet ourselves. And for the other people, don't forget to also put the notification ring on, because there could possibly be also some surprises, not only for me working with Juve, but also some news here on the channel with some special videos. Wait for it, I cannot tell too much, but this year could possibly be the most beautiful one for GJustjuve and the community. Now, if you appreciate that news, don't forget to support the channel with a maximum of like, to share this channel with all your Juventini, because we start with another fantastic, beautiful news, and I'm sure that you will be even more happy to hear it, because Kenan Yildiz, our number 10, has been put in the list of the nominees for the Coppa Award, which is the Ballon d'Or for the under 21. 10 players are there in that list. We are speaking about Desiré Doué, Yamal, Joao Neves, but also our player Kenan Yildiz. You remember, of course, the famous word of Szczesny that said, I can bet on it that in the next 5 years he will be a nominee for the Ballon d'Or. We are not there yet, but this is a beginning, and I can tell that is only a beginning, because he has a really beautiful career. I'm sure that you are happy. I am extremely happy. Congratulations to Kenan Yildiz, but not only you, because if you go on Instagram, you will see immediately the first likes of Kolo Muani and Renato Vega, two players that would really love to come back to Juve. Renato Vega, there are some news, but we will go towards that probably on another video. Renato Vega, that could possibly be an opportunity of the last day of Mercato, if there is no solution, because Chelsea doesn't really want to keep him. That being said, we go towards the words of Francois Modesto, because we see the big title on Tuttosport is Kolo Muani and the Scudetto. Juventus is all in for it. Well, that's not really what he said. It's a bit taken out of context. They needed, of course, a beautiful big page. I read the interview. I listened also to the words of Francois Modesto. Well, he speaks in a fluent Italian with a few mistakes, like I do sometimes in whatever languages I speak, but it was absolutely perfect. Well, he started speaking about his job. What is he doing day to day? And he said, guys, it's the same job as a as a technical director, which is a bit confusing for us Juventini that are not really used to that kind of position. But he's saying, look, I am the link between the management and the player. Day to day, I am there with the technical staff, but also with the players. I am there, and I am that link in a few words. He will do much more than that, but he said, don't expect something totally crazy. He wanted to be humble on his job description, even if I tell you, he will be extremely important. And I was happy after Bremer, after Joao Mario, to listen to the words of Francois Modesto. He said important things that showed me actually that you see a united management between Chiellini, Modesto and Comoli. I will tell you in a second. But then the questions about Mercato and about how we are managing, how we are handling the players that are under brackets, out of the project. He said, look, this season we decided to take all the players together with us. We are Juventus, and we are obliged to treat equally all the different players and the same behavior towards all the players. But we have been, of course, extremely clear with them. So words, and I will try to analyze what he says, that I really appreciate, because indeed we are Juventus. So giving continuity to the words of Scanavino first, to the words of Damien Comolli next, we are Juventus. Again, starting to put Juventus at the center. Again, putting Juventus on a podium. Again, putting the importance on the name Juventus. We are Juventus. We have a way of behaving, and we treat everyone equally. That's a huge, big difference with what we did, for example, last year. Not saying that this is better or this is worse, but we are doing something totally different. We are Juventus. We want to treat everyone equally, but we have been clear with everyone, also telling, oh guys, we do our job. We are not here in the kindergarten. We spoke individually and also collectively with all the players. They know what we are about. Like, for example, it was confirmed by Comolli. I have been extremely clear. We had a beautiful discussion together with Dusan Vlahovic. Something else that he said, and I really appreciate it, was about the World Cup, because he says, yes, of course, the World Cup, but is it really a disadvantage? Can we take it as an excuse? He said no, because I believe that it was even a benefit for you, because it worked in creating a lot of cohesion. So that Club World Cup was extremely important for the entire team, together with the new coach, that is Igor Tudor, that took actually the team towards the end of Serie A 24-25. Then, no, it's not an excuse, because the players, they had 3 weeks of holiday. It's like a bit when some teams are playing the World Cup or they are playing a Euro. So 3 weeks of holiday, it is what it is, like a lot of other big teams that participated to the Club World Cup. I love that he's tackling it, that he's putting it away. Of course, aware that it will be a long season, there will be a lot of games. We are Juve, but don't take this as an excuse. We need to be ready. We must be ready. What about the collaboration, the work with Chiellini and with Comolli? Said about Chiellini, well, Giorgio is the DNA of Juve. He's helping us a lot. He is a big champion. So also praising Giorgio Chiellini, and also saying he is the DNA of you remember, warrant of Juventinità. What about Comolli? Well, Mr. Comolli, that's what he said, il signor Comolli has a really experience in international field, so international experience. But the three of us, we are actually really aligned. We work really well together, and we have a confrontation really in a frequent way. We speak a lot, and we are doing team. Facciamo squadra. We are working as a team. So underlining also the word team, because he speaks a lot about the team. What about Kolo Muani? He said, look, we are at the same point. We are trying to collect as much information as possible. Are we fiduciosi? Are we quite confident? He says, look, yeah, we are confident. We must be confident. We are always confident. So did he really say Kolo Muani will arrive to Juve and we give you that guarantee? No, but he said that we are confident, that we are working on it. He didn't say we gave up on Kolo Muani. That took away his profile picture and still consider him a Juve player. At least he's dreaming to come back as soon as possible. What about Bremer, that spoke about 4 teams being there to actually compete for the Scudetto, and including you in these top 4? And that's probably the most beautiful part. He says, look, Juventus is always having the task to go on the field to win the games and to win every competition. Then at the end of the year, we will see, but we must start with that mentality. And I really appreciated these words, because he's not making any promise. He's not saying we will compete for the Scudetto, we will win the Scudetto. If we don't win the Scudetto, it's a failure. But it's a Modesto that is absolutely aware of a mentality that a lot of time we were lacking, a mentality of we start and we will see. We start, but we must, and that's our duty, Try to win every single game. Try to win every competition. That's where we start. It's a mentality. It's a mentality shift, a winning mentality shift that I really, really appreciated. Did he say something else that was important? Yes, about Galliani, that was his maestro when he was at Monza. He said that we are hearing ourselves, but he didn't speak about Vlahovic. We don't speak about Mercato, only about personal thing. Will it be the summer of Dusan Vlahovic? He said, look, summer of Vlahovic at the moment he's really training. He's doing well. He's a professional. He is at the moment a player of Juventus Football Club, so not denying, not saying. So beautiful words of Francois Modesto. It was the first time that I heard him speaking. That gave me again a confirmation that Juventus is working as a team, that structure of management is starting really to work. A lot of people will probably ask again, as a last video, we want some facts, we want some things, but if you're really actually looking from a distant point of view, not as a Juventino, not with stress, not with frustration, guys, I can see that Juventus is really working to have a perfect, strong management, that is working really well to translate it. Will it take time? Yes, it will take time, but the first fact we are able to see it. And if you're stressing too much, I give you the advice to go on the Juventus store and to buy an anti-stress ball. Anti-stress ball also because we have some players that need to leave Juve if we want to work on entry mercato, and it starts to be extremely difficult if you're speaking about one name, Dusan Vlahovic. Why? Because the latest report from Gazzetta dello Sport are saying that Hojlund could possibly be the alternative of Vlahovic, or even more than an alternative, because in the last few hours there could possibly be contacts between Hojlund and Milan, which means, of course, that if he goes to Milan, well, there is no spot anymore for Dusan. What do I believe in it? Well, if I listen to the last words of Rasmus, he said, I am a Manchester United player, I am a supporter of Manchester United, I would love to stay, I want to stay, I will go nowhere, I stay there where I am. So then, of course, Mercato is crazy. What is true today is not true tomorrow. What I believe is I think, a pressure from Milan to speak publicly on papers, to show that leaked information, to actually pressure Juve to go faster in accepting their condition. So Juventus should take a step behind and saying, calma. We don't want to accelerate. We have our conditions, and these are the conditions. You like them, good. You don't like them, it is what it is. But it's true that Juventus is risking big on that one, because if it's true that they are close to Hojlund, well, there is at the moment no other team on Dusan Vlahovic. There are a bit more teams on Douglas Luiz, Nottingham Forest, that is close to finding an agreement also with Juve. But pay attention, they are trying to also put a player like Sangaré in the deal, which I really don't want. There are other teams as well on the Brazilian player, like there are a lot of teams also on Nico Gonzalez. That yesterday I told you that Juventus, if there is no valid offer, well, they would even keep him. What is a valid offer? A valid offer is for Comoli the fact of not doing any minus valenza for the Argentinian player. Otherwise, he stays at Juve. What about Miretti? Well, Napoli is still on the player. McKennie could possibly leave, but we don't hear any interest from other teams. Newcastle is still on Savona. Artur Besiktas is a new team after Sevilla. Betis Sevilla were interested in him. Now, if we continue on the big page of Corriere dello Sport, pay attention, because I always warned you for Osimhen, fantastic player, great player, would have loved to have him at Juve. But I'm not sure. What about Gyökeres? Exactly the same. Pay attention what you read, what you believe in, because Corriere dello Sport, since a few weeks now, not only days, but a few weeks now, they are really pushing on Hojlund. Hojlund to Juve, with Douglas Luiz that would actually free up the space for Hojlund. At the moment, Sporting is still asking 55 million euro, my friends, and this is extremely a lot of money. First of all, for the player, I don't believe he's worth that money, one, even if it's one of my preferred players to reinforce the midfield of Juve. But I don't believe in Hojlund to Juve, even if they are pushing. If you want Hojlund to Juve, you really need to sell and Douglas Luiz and McKennie, and who knows what other profit you can have on other players. Yes, we are also speaking about O'Reilly from Brighton, but that's a player, it's not or Hojlund or O'Reilly, but it's first a Hojlund kind of player. Bissouma, Kessie, etc., these kind of players. And if a Miretti would leave, then you could go possibly for a Matt O'Reilly. Then Juventus is training hard there. There were no Yildiz yesterday, no Bremer yesterday in training session. Yildiz that will start training again today. Bremer, we need to understand, but of course it's totally normal after the first 45 minutes. I don't think that he will start in Dortmund. Let's see and monitor the situation. But apparently Tudor is also working on a 4-1-4-1 with Thuram in that role in front of the defense, which is a bit strange to me, honestly. I would understand it, because that would make actually sure that we are playing kind of with three midfielders, a Koopman is also there a bit more in the back, not anymore behind the strikers. But I don't believe that's the role for Thuram, because I believe that you will limit him more than you will actually give him the possibility to play with his strengths. That's what I believe. And then finishing with the latest news that is regarding the Juventus Women after Sofia Cantore that left Juve to go to Washington, and the rumors on Lisa Boatin. Well, today we heard this morning that Alicia Lehmann could leave Juve or is about to leave Juve to join Como. Am I totally devastated about it? Absolutely not. If she was a really great part of the locker room. But of course, Alicia Lehmann going to Como is a strategy also for Como that wants to make their database, their fan base bigger and bigger and bigger. You know that there are not a lot of local fans in Como, so they are trying to attract a lot of tourists that are going to visit the lake of Como. If they have also the opportunity to go there, to be attracted and to start following Como on social media, that could help their strategy. I'm not devastated because she was not a starter, but anyway, she did really well in that first year, especially in that group cohesion, so best of luck for Alicia Lehmann. Ragazzi, ragazze, Juventini, Juventine, if you enjoyed the video, maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.